Good morning. How is everyone doing today? I am here. We're going to talk about self-hate and we're going to talk about stopping the cycle of self-hate. So, if you have ever said any of these things about yourself, either out like to yourself or out loud, this conversation is for you. Thunder thighs, muffin top, fat ass, flabby arms, double chin, crow's feet, stretch mark, back fat, small boobs, big boobs, saggy skin, I should say. Like, have you ever said that out loud? Have you ever said it in front of your children? And if you're being honest with yourself, and I hope that you are, you might be answering yes. And I am begging you to not be like me. And I'm begging you to stop the cycle of self-hate because it really truly can end with you. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Okay? This is my story. My daughter was probably about nine-ish when I heard her complain about her thunder thighs. I was like, what are you talking about? I told her that she was crazy, and I said something that my time machine moment is this moment. I said, I wish I had your thighs. She's 9. I'm a grown ass woman. I should have never said that. Totally not the appropriate thing to say. Time machine moment, that's where it is. I wish that I would have engaged her. I should have listened. I should have done this. I should have done that. And I literally beat myself up over that moment so many times. But instead, I allowed her to compare herself to me. Big mistake. Way back in the day when this happened, I was watching the Tyra Banks show. Just happened to be on. I was flipping through the channels. And it was an interesting topic, so I decided to watch, and it was about mothers and daughters. And they were marking up photos with their bodies of all the things they didn't like about themselves. And it was like, whoa. And they always have a psychiatrist guest speaker or something like that. And she said something that I will never forget. She said, daughters do not want to be better than their mothers. Then I found this quote that totally, whoa. It says, girls don't simply decide to hate their bodies. We teach them to. Mind blown. We are teaching our children to hate their bodies. I taught my daughter how to hate her body. And that was horrifying. Oh my God. Time machine. I literally would go back and change everything about that moment. And so I figured I love to do research. And this is what I discovered is that our daughters look at us as perfect human beings, and our sons do too, by the way. They see us with loving eyes. They see us for the ones that wipe their tears and kiss their boo-boos and give them cuddles. They don't see our flaws. They don't see our imperfections. They don't think we need to lose weight because they see past all of that. They want to be just like us, even though they might not admit it. My daughter would tell you, hell no. But the reality is that we're alike in a lot of ways. And so when we spew self-hatred out of our mouths, we are essentially telling them that there is something wrong with them too. Because remember, they don't want to be better than us. If we have thunder thighs, maybe they do too. If we complain about our stretch marks, maybe they should complain too. I mean, we don't want mommy to hate herself by herself, right? Misery loves company. And the moment that my daughter complained about her thunder thighs, I knew that she had heard that come out of my mouth. My self-hating complaint turned into her insecurity. And there's a quote that I love. Oh crap. Like this is a deep one, you guys. It says, at its most extreme, self-hatred can lead people to retreat into substance abuse, suicidal, and other self-destructive behaviors or violence towards others. And I found that on goodtherapy.org. And that is just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know about what you do or don't want for your children, but please, if you have young children, please don't be like me. And my daughter was always athletic. She was on the cheer squad. She could lift girls up over her head all by herself. She was strong, and her thighs were pure muscle. And without those muscular legs, she would not have been able to do those things. But one day, when my daughter is 23 now, but at the time when she was a teenager, there was this social media platform called ask.fm, and you could ask people anonymous questions, which really is not a good idea for kids, by the way. Very inappropriate and very harmful. And it was a good teaching moment for us. But I was snooping one day and discovered that my daughter had an ask page. And someone asked her, how much do your thunder thighs weigh? And she was very clever and very sarcastic. I don't know where she gets that from. But her response was 2 boxes of pizza and 3 boxes of Chinese food. But I knew that comment stung. And I still cannot even fathom why people think it's okay to talk about someone else's body. The shape of it, the size of it, the weight of it. I just don't understand why we think we're entitled to make comments about someone else's body. I don't get it. But then another occasion that I remember happened when we were driving my daughter's friend home, and her friend was complaining out loud in my car at how fat she was. Now I'm going to tell you that this girl had not 1 single ounce of fat on her body. She was like a size 0, just a very small build. That's just how she was built. And my daughter started crying. And she says to her, how do you think that makes me feel? You are smaller and thinner than I am. So does that make me fat? Like it was a very quiet car ride. I'm not going to lie to you. I was stunned and I didn't really know what to say. I just knew that these girls needed to have this moment together. And oh man. So, I just retired from being a boudoir photographer, and I focused a lot of everything that I did was all about empowering women through photography. And I'll tell you that women complained about every little non-existent flaw. Her thighs, her waist, her eyes, her hair, her smile, everything. She complained about everything in an attempt, I don't know if she wanted me to validate her, if she wanted me to compliment her. I don't know what was happening, but it happened all the time. And here's the thing, is that in our minds, our children are perfect. And just like in their minds, we are perfect. There's an unconditional love that happens there. And changing, we don't want them to change their bodies or who they are, because it would erase our unique individuality. So here's what I want to remind you. If you were to erase your flaws and your imperfections, you would erase your unique individuality, right? No one is like you. No one. No one is like you. No one has your mind, your heart, your soul. You are a unique and special person. You are. You are the only one like you. And I think that is cool as hell. Okay? No one can be like me. No one can be like you. It's freaking awesome. But I want to remind you that we as women and our children, our daughters and our sons, are plagued with unrealistic ideals of beauty every single day online. Instagram is full of girls who probably took 100 photos of themselves before they would post one that they liked. They see commercials all the time telling them they're not good enough unless they use their products. She sees magazines with photoshopped women that you would not probably even recognize on the street because they've been altered so much. By the way, did you ever see the Dove commercial that it happened like a long time ago? It was insane. It was a model, and they basically photographed this woman, and then they literally changed her appearance so much that she didn't even look like the same person. If you've never seen it, just Google it. Dove commercial. Holy bejesus. It's so wrong on so many levels because they elongated her neck, they chiseled her cheekbones, they made her eyes different and wider, and unrealistic expectations is what we're putting on our society. And so now we wonder why our kids say hurtful things about themselves. And so what I want to encourage you today is to turn around the negative thoughts that you might have. We're going to trade self-hate for self-love. It's not easy, but it is possible. So today we're going to talk about stopping the cycle of self-hate. All right, here you go. Here's some tips for you. Are you ready? The first thing you could do, you could start a swear jar. And if someone in your home is using self-hate talk, they have to put money in the jar. And at the end of the year or whatever, you guys can choose to donate that to a charity or something like that. So you're no longer allowed to ask your husband, do these jeans make me look fat? Because that's going to cost you. And just in case you didn't know, there's actually a swear jar app if you want to get technical. So number 2, you could focus on the positive. Turn your self-hate talk into an opportunity to focus on what you do love about yourself. So if you're caught self-hating, you should do 5 things, say 5 things or do 5 things that you love out loud and say it until you mean it. Okay? So if you're caught talking about your thunder thighs, then all of a sudden you're going to have to stop and focus on something that you do love about yourself, and I need you to repeat it 5 times, and I want you to say it until you mean it, okay? Okay, so the number 3 is to curb your comparisons. So comparisonitis is what I call it. Have you ever wished you looked like her? Never will. Never, not going to happen. Not attainable, not reality. I want you to let it go. So I want you to focus on being the best you, the best version of you. Give back, be positive, be a good friend. And remember one of my favorite quotes. I actually printed this on my tote bags that I would give out to my clients. I'm not beautiful like you. I'm beautiful like me. Feel that. Feel it. I also want to encourage you that if you are following people on Instagram or other social media platforms that make you feel bad about yourself, eliminate it. Do not invite that negativity into your life, okay? You have the choice. Unfollow them. I don't care if they're famous. Unfollow someone that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, okay? I love gentle reminders. So having positive quotes plastered in places that you might see every day. You could put it on your mirror, you could put it in your car, in your office. You can find some amazing, awesome quotes on Pinterest, print them out, whatever. But like having those things all over the place can be a really gentle reminder. To be your own kind of beautiful is a really great quote that I have. Where is right there? I have it right there. Be your own kind of beautiful. And you get to decide what beautiful is because your definition is going to be different than someone else's. Number 4, do you exist in photographs? I want to encourage you to please, 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 speaking from a retired photographer, to leave your legacy by having your photographs taken. Be photographed with your family, be photographed by yourself, I don't care, but be photographed. Because why? You deserve to exist in photos. When you move on from this earth, the only thing your family is going to have left of you are your photos. When my grandmother died, that's what I have left. I have her photos, and her legacy will live on with my children because of these photographs. So stop hiding, stop running away from the camera, get in front of the camera and be photographed. If you do nothing else of what I'm asking you to do today, please exist in photographs. Please exist in photographs. Let's see here. The next one, talk it out. Tell someone that you trust about your journey of self-discovery. If you're having a bad day and you need someone to talk it out with, you have a buddy, okay? Sometimes we just need someone to talk it out with. Sometimes things are, if you have trauma that does impact the way that you feel about yourself, please seek professional help. Please seek professional help. That is what they're there for. You cannot try to heal trauma on your own. Please don't do that to yourself. The next one, surround yourself with positive people. Here's a rule. If you're going to be in a group of women and they start talking smack about themselves, please do not give in to the self-hate game. Don't do it. If you hear your friend say something negative, call them out. Because here's the thing, they may not even realize that they're doing it. Okay? Also, you may need to leave the conversation. You may need to get up and walk away and not participate. And it's really hard to do, but you cannot allow that because it will stick to you. Okay? So stopping the cycle of self-hate starts with you. It is possible that you may have heard your mother complain about herself, and I'm gonna guess that you probably think your mother is the most beautiful woman in the entire world. Why would she say those things about herself? Right? Why would she say those things about herself? She's the most beautiful woman in the world to you. Now imagine if your children said that about you. Imagine your children saying that about themselves. Oh. Okay. So just to follow, I'm going to kind of end this. I know I went a little longer than my 10 minutes today, but I felt like this topic was really important. You are worth loving. You are worthy of existing. And your worth has nothing to do with your appearance. Okay? None of it has nothing to do with your appearance. It's all about who you are as a person at the core of your being. Okay? I hope you guys all have a super great day. Thank you so much for being on today. Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.